In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to change colors in a granny square. Now that you know how to do granny squares, it's now very simple, and you can change your colors at any particular point. So if you wanted the yellow in closer to the center, you could have done so. So use this tutorial to show you how to change the colors, how to hide the strings from what you're changing from to what you're changing to. So let's get started. We have an established granny square, so now what we need to do is get it back to the starting point of the rotation, so where we're going to go to slip stitch. Hi there, my name is Michael Selleck and I am the creator of Mikey's Mail. Together with my friends at allfreecrochet.com, we present to you a video on how to change colors within a granny square. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make my way to the end, and we are doing the runway point at this point. So if you've watched the last video, you'll understand that terminology. So we're on the very last corner before we're going to slip stitch, and we're just going to do this as normal. So we're just going to finish off with our 3. And then of course, in order to do a corner, we have to chain 2. But because this is the starting and the ending of this line, we want to chain 2 and then slip stitch. So going into the top of the first chain, we're just going to slip in, pull through, and through. So now we need to finish this color because this is what the purpose of this video is. And what I always do is just turn my hand over and get your nifty scissors and just cut, just like so, and pull this out. And now pull tight. And now I don't tie any knots here, that's why you don't see any knots on here. So what I do is I stick my needle into the center, or sorry, into the corner piece itself, and then pull through, and then throw it back over the top and stick it in again. I always do that twice. So now it's sticking out towards you. So now go into the very first stitch going backwards. So if we went this way when we crocheted, let's go backwards, going into the top, and let's just grab that string and pull it through. And now it's on the other side, going into the very next one on the chain, working its way toward the crochet hook side. So what I do is I do that twice, and then I go into the next gap available, and then I throw it over twice again. So just grab it around, throw it over, so that's 1, and then 2, and then what I do again, just 2 more times, just into the actual next stitch available, and going on the other side, going through. That's kind of the weaving technique. I then pull it nice, and so everybody's going to be knowing where to go. And what I just do at this point is I just trim the string. So that's the first part that you need to do. So this orange is now ready, and now we're going to add the yellow. So as a crocheter, you're going to know exactly where you cast it off, and you can tell by that, just like so. So what I do is I don't start my string on the same corner that you cast it off. I go one direction or the other. So in this case, I always tend to work toward where I came from. So what I'm going to do is, just as where I finished, I'm going to rotate it and start here. Let's do a slip knot, rotating just like so, putting it on. I'm using a size G hook today with 4-ply worsted yarn. You should note that if you're doing a color change, that the material that you're changing the color to should be the same kind of ply or thickness. So what I'm just going to do now is stick my hook, so it's just on there, stick my hook through that corner section, grabbing the material and pulling it through, just like so. So that counts as one of your 3 when you're doing a normal starting of a rotation. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So what we're going to do now is just continue along as if we're growing the granny square as normal. But in this case, see the straggler? We want to lay that down on top so that when we're going to crochet this first corner, that straggler is caught into position underneath of the actual stitches, so that you can safely cut that without worry of cutting it too short. So just like so. So do you see how it's been underneath? So that's exactly what we want to do. Now I just want to throw it out of my way, and we're going to crochet this line as normal. So this is the normal runway, so we do our 3 configuration, so we do our 3 double crochets, and then in between each one of the 3 crochets, we put in our 1 chain until we get to the corner again. So in this case, I'm going over the corner, and see how we finished off when we weaved it into this edge here? This next rotation, just like I'm showing you now, is trapping that all into position, so you can't actually see where you ended. And that's the beauty thing about it, is that it won't catch your attention. So time is fast forward, and we're now coming to the end of this rotation. So if you want to change your colors within every rotation, you're more than welcome to do so. I do get email about people wanting to carry the yarn up and over to different sections of their rotations, but I don't know of any good way to hide the yarn to do so. So this actually takes more of the time to change your colors, but it actually looks a lot better too. So we're going to just finish off, and we'll just do our 3 double crochets right into the corner. And remember, where we started, we already added our 3, so we've just got this side of our turn to do, and we're just going to chain our chain our 2, and then just slip stitch into the top of the next area there, so that we have our corner. So again, just trimming over your hand just like so. Just pull this hook out, or the yarn out, throwing it over the edge, pulling it through, over the edge, pulling it through. I always like doing it twice. And now let's weave our way through. This is the starting string, so because you buried it underneath, you can confidently cut that and won't be worried about it falling out. So there you go. That is your granny square changing colors.